Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, I think we have a very interesting update on Luna. But before we get into that update, I've been looking at the prices. And I mean, yesterday, I told you guys as long as the stock market is moving down, that cryptos will most likely face that same fate. However, we also talked about a potential little reversal on the short term. Now, the stock market ended off yesterday quite negatively. I think you guys all noticed that, and crypto kind of followed the same faith. However, and this is very interesting, if we take a look at the charts, specifically the ones I shared over on my Telegram, things get very peculiar. Because we talked before about how we can still see a weekly turnaround here, then again, things are looking bearish right now. That's not so important right now. We talked about this specific channel for Bitcoin, and as it currently stands, it had a perfect bounce at our bottom, which is why I described that if you want to take a short, don't focus too much on actually shorting up front, because even though I wanted to try it out, I knew it was a very risky play. We needed to dip below about 29,000, or let's say about 28.9 or so. However, by charting that same thing over on the 4 hour or 1 hour, you can actually also see a little bit of a channel. And on that front, we needed to break 28.5 and again get ourselves some confirmation below there, as since we didn't get it, our trade was not warranted. So right now, still the next 24 hours, let's say 36 hours or so will decide most, because again, that's going to be the weekly close, which will be of a very important factor, as it will finally determine whether or not the crypto market has made a lower low, or basically a triple bottom. Over on XRP, the exact same situation still applies. So even though on our little grander scale of things, we have officially broken out, but I'm more so holding myself towards this yellow one. But I digress. So about 16 hours ago, I was sleeping almost. Prop 1188 to burn the remaining UST in community pool plus cross-chain liquidity incentive UST passed, but did not successfully execute due to technical issues. It attempted to burn more UST from the pool than actually existed. More info can be found here. A new proposition, Prop 1747, has been posted with updated parameters. If passed, this proposal will burn the remaining UST in the community pool, plus cross-chain liquidity incentives for UST. The reason I think this is rather interesting is because of the entire story which the Terra Foundation is trying to add here. They all of a sudden are kind of showing the community, hey, we're not completely gone, or we're trying to do some stuff, and the burn and stuff, we're not completely away from it, but they're a little bit late to the party. So I think the majority of us are like, sure. Oh, the burn didn't work, huh? Technical issues, you say. Yeah. Because they've kind of lost our faith. But let's read on. Recently, bad actors have been capitalizing on terror-related events by purchasing Luna and posting fake proposals on Station, with phishing sites quoted in the link. These proposals claim to lead users to a preview of Terra 2.0 and DApps launched by us, which is not the actual case. In addition, we have also seen a rapid increase in spam proposals, as the discount on Luna made it economically cheap to post anything one desired. And to prevent scams and spam and to protect users, props will be added to an allow list visible after clicking on governance on Station. At this point, while we try to find a more sustainable solution in preventing these types of props from being posted on Terra's governance platform. Our goal is not to censor viable proposals, but rather to protect users from scams and ensure an excellent user experience. For those who would like to view all proposals, including potential scams and spam, simply click the Show All button under the governance page on Station. Important, clicking on the Show All button may reveal potential scam proposals. Please beware of these types of posts to keep your funds safe. And anyone interested in posting a viable governance proposal to be added on the allow list are welcome to do so by submitting a pull request here. Note, the idea of increasing the Luna cost to post a proposal to prevent scams and spam has been discussed and is non-viable at this time. This option would take 7 days to pass through governance, in which time many scams and spam would continue to cause issues and losses. Luna's price volatility also renders this non-viable, as the cost to post a prop could end up as economically prohibitive for most. And please be on the lookout for scams and stay safe out there, lunatics. This is very interesting to me. One of the biggest questions that people had was, do we get airdropped the new Luna, basically Luna 2, if we have wrapped Luna in our MetaMask? interesting question. I still don't have the answer to that one, even though Fat Man has had a couple of new answers. There's two parts about the new Terra stories which are interesting. One is this is a very centralized option, and it's not the first one that they've chosen to do, but it is quite logical. And it's like a lot of people are making use of the voting method because it's easy to scam people right now, so they're going to attempt that. But the first part, or I guess second part, is that they apparently on Proposition 1188 had a burn the remaining UST in the community pool incentive or idea, plus the cross-chain liquidity incentive UST, and it passed. All right, so people were like, this is going to happen. But it actually didn't really go through because of technical issues, as it wanted to burn more UST from the pool than actually existed. Let's see. So Stable Chen, another co-founder, I believe, of Terra, right? Nah, I'm not sure if he's the co-founder, Will Chen, or just a builder on there. Terra can make it disappear. The vote passed and was executed automatically by the system. However, the execution failed due to incorrect parameter, malformed proposal that was not called by proposer. We will have to redo the proposal. I can check for validity. So some individual put up like, hey, let's burn the rest of the UST. And the people said, yes, let's do it. But the fact it didn't go through is mostly due to the fact that it was just not properly made. Then again, it does actually get kind of interesting because this guy was saying, in fact, you can change the market's opinion just by burning the extra Luna and UST, but you obviously don't. The burning UST proposal in the community was passed, but Terra used the system to make them disappear. To make the proposal disappear, or the UST, I think the proposal. Then again, the idea was to burn about 1 billion UST, I guess, if I read that correctly. And the reason that this is really, in my opinion, kind of meh, is partially because even though they might burn 1 billion UST, what's going to happen? I'm not really sure exactly what's going to go on. Somebody says here, my 52,000 Luna staking rewards disappeared when moved them to my wallet. Where are they and why can't I find them? Also, those parts I don't really fully know. It's kind of strange how all this burning and stuff is going, and none of these burn proposals are actually coming through. However, one thing that you got to understand for yourself is that the Luna guys, they want to save Luna and not UST because they want to go for Luna 2.0, which has no UST. So they'd rather use the UST to buy back Luna in some way, shape, or form to then get more for themselves, or I guess even a burn is actually in their own favor because they're going to have a lot of control over this newer network as well. Even though they might not showcase that they have, they'll most likely have it. And having said that, by burning, you're basically you're not necessarily making things more valuable or so in the slightest margins. It's only if it's in the community pool. Well, is that owned by the TFL or the LFG or what wallet would basically turn that over into the newer section? If you guys get my drift, like the wallet that's been excluded is the TFL's wallet, I believe. So the reason I'm kind of confused is like, well, but officially, who does this 1 billion belong to? Is that the excluded wallet from the TFL or is it a different one? And if it's a different one, even the LFG, for example, let's say they have a freaking ton of Luna. It doesn't ever say that the LFG's Luna wallets are going to be excluded. So those guys, which is again Do Kwon, I believe, right? Or is that different people? I don't think so. They'll still get a lot of the new Luna 2.0. That's what I've been thinking about, kind of. And we've basically been kind of keeping up to date here with what Fat Man has been posting. He's been posting a lot. The Terra's official retail-facing documentation has been scrubbed of all mentions of stablecoins or UST. I've tested before and after. Previously, this contained a promise that UST can always be redeemed for $1 worth of Luna. This burn and mint system was the foundation of Terra Luna's value. Terra arbitrarily turned it off, citing governance concerns, which could have been mitigated by disabling staking alone rather than Terra's primary economic mechanism. This breaks one of their core promises. P.S. Rushing into Terra 2 as an excuse to scrub off old documentation won't work here. The internet never forgets. Here's a link to an old archive of the page. Yeah. I just spent 2 hours going through 109 Anchor victim impact statements, and my heart is incredibly full. Numbers and charts make it hard to quantify the scale of the tragedy that happened this week. I don't think any words can do it justice either. Here is some data. I don't want to read that, all right? Honestly, it's very saddening. I swear. Please don't do this to yourself. Just understand a lot of people were heavily affected by the whole Luna Anchor UST situation. Again, I lost a lot of money in that sense. I can get over it. But again, that's also not my life saving. So even though it was a lot of money, and it's still kind of, I'm like, it's kind of annoying. It's not my life saving, so I can't feel the same pain, I guess. But I definitely can feel for people who have lost their savings, because even I was thinking about, what would happen if, and then The time cost is astounding. The average number of years that people spend building up the savings they lost is 5 years. The median is 3 years. The two people have lost 20 years worth of savings they had in this system. Again, you can say, oh, they're really dumb, they're really stupid. I understand, but damn. This is fairly significant. A Brazilian cryptocurrency exchange has refunded all USD holders at a 1-to-1 rate with USDT. This case may be used as key precedent to argue that exchanges are liable for UST losses if tortious misrepresentations were made. Okay. To be fair, Brazilian consumers law is quite strong, and punishes businesses that lie to customers or falsely represent risks. Let's see how many countries and courts come to the same conclusion over the next few days as suits against exchanges roll in. All this is far from over. Yeah, the next couple of months are going to be very, very interesting. Again, I say months because all these lawsuits take a lot of time. And then latest things were this. An airdrop eligibility update. Thank you, Do Kwon. Funds on Mars and Osmosis will be supported, and the Terra team is trying to include as many chains as possible. So many of you should be included even if you don't have your Luna USD sitting in your Terra natively. We still recommend moving funds on-chain instead of keeping them on exchanges. Most of the airdrop will be vested, locked up for 2 years, and you will still need the exchange to support the airdrop and then stay online as solvent for the whole period. Better to play it safe and have it in your own wallet. And about 35 minutes ago or so, Do Kwon actually gave a couple of responses, at least one, I guess. Let's see it out. Distribution for Terra 2.0 should be as follows. Proposal looks like it will pass. Community pool 30%, pre-attack Luna, this, that. 30% of your allocation will be available at Genesis, unless you're part of the pre-attack Luna holders with more than 10k. Snapshots are 7th of May, post-attack 27th. To be eligible, I'd consider it necessary to have your UST and Luna on a Terra wallet, not exchange. Tridion said, I think stablecoin already confirmed it is okay to leave Luna at big exchanges a couple days ago. And then he said, it might still be a good idea to move your coins to your own wallet. Airdrops will still need to be supported for years, and you don't know what might happen to the exchange in the meanwhile. He said, what is the status of repaying small UST holders? We're gathering snapshot data from multiple exchanges. There are many exchanges, so this is taking some time as it requires exchanges to revert with data. We shall see. I also had some bags on exchanges worth of UST. So somebody else said, in regards to compensating pre-attack UST holders, is the Terra 2.0 allocation the only form of allocation being considered, or will there be some USDC or other compensation program? And he said, remaining LFG funds will be routed to UST holders currently collecting data from exchanges. But that's like $200 million. That's yeah, but it is what it is, guys. That was it for today's update real quick. Hopefully you guys learned something new. If you guys want to trade Luna, make sure you check out KuCoin. A link is down below. It's the exchange I personally use for trading Luna because you can actually trade leverage on there with 5x as well. But if you don't trade leverage, you can just trade Luna on there. It's a very simple one. It's a very nice exchange. So I highly recommend you guys to check it out. A link will be down below. And a couple of you guys will get some crazy bonus. So you might be lucky. And the moment you make an account and deposit $10, so you get a couple bucks from me for free. I think like $25 so that you can just withdraw, do anything with it you please. Because I will bless a couple of people for fun. All right, so yeah, that was it. All right, hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video later today.